Da-na-na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na. I don't know the rest of it. Hello, undercover dummies. How's it going? Hope your missions have been going well. I imagine you've all understood the signals by now. It's all coming together, dummies. It is. It is. You see, people start to get it. We're all dummies. I've said that a bunch, and it doesn't just mean the people watching. No. Everyone. We're all dummies. Okay? Just some people don't know it yet. We're undercover dummies. You see. Because you can't really even tell the world sometimes. You go to tell the world you're a dummy, they don't believe you sometimes. You tell the world, you go up to somebody, you go, hey, I'm a dummy. Hey, don't tell anyone. My parents wouldn't like it. Hey, if I came home and they're like, are you gonna like what? What's happening next? You bringing home another dummy? You know? You can't be, you know. You just don't want people to find out. You're afraid people make fun of you. It's not my fault I'm a dummy. It's not. You go, I'm a dummy. You try to tell them. No, you're not. You're not a dummy. Don't say that. Don't say that about yourself. Like what? Oh, it's bad to be a dummy? Oh, so you decide that it's bad to be a dummy? I say, hey, hi, dummy. And I go to shake your hand, and I go, oh, what did you call me? What the fuck did you just say? I called you a fucking dummy. Huh? Oh, that's an insult, is it? So what do you think a dummy is? Disgusting. Disgusting behavior. So you have to be an undercover dumb sometimes. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Sometimes you look around, you realize you're in a room full of dummies. They just don't know it yet. And sometimes you can't tell them. Sometimes a dummy's true potential is not realized until you get to really take in how dumb you are. You know? I'd kind of explain this at one point. They say there's a certain amount of hours until you're a master. Until you are a professional, right? They say like 10,000, 15,000, 100,000, whatever. I don't know how many hours that. You probably only live 100,000 or some shit like that. But regardless, however many thousand hours you put in to become a professional, somewhere along those lines, it's a very similar thing. You put 10 hours in, and you realize you're a dummy. You see, you're never not a dummy, because all a dummy is a realization. It's just a step along the way. It's a place that you get to. Okay? You go, oh, I'll never get all of this. And that's when you really decide what's important, and that's when you focus. So, dummies. If you're out there, if I see you out there this week, if you see me out there this week, you just run around being dummies. Just remember, you're an undercover dumb, right? Try to shine the light for some people. When somebody goes, oh, no, you're smart. No. Show them you're dumb. What's up, babies? Secret agent dummy. Secret agent dummy. Yeah, we're getting real comfortable now. These aren't even bits. These are just things I'm saying. I might listen to this again and then decide that I need to find a bridge. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut all of this. Maybe there won't be a single intro. I don't know. I hate half this shit, right? Not really. Actually, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes doing this is like having a little secret friend that you forgot about. It's like doing a podcast is like whenever you get drunk and make yourself and get your clothes ready the night before, or like order yourself something fun and useful that you just wouldn't buy normally, right? And so whenever I sit down to edit these, I just get to sit there and it's like a little treat. I get to go, oh, what's this guy saying? He's making a lot of sense, you know? And I've been thinking about my podcast a lot. Been having some side activities go on and stuff that have been kind of distracting me from it, which happens. But I think this is what I want to do. So I've been trying to work this into my daily more often, you know? And as a result, I talked to my therapist about my podcast probably at least for 20 minutes today. So that's what I paid a person to listen to me talk about while I desperately needed therapy about problems I have real anxieties over. Not really, sincerely. A lot of times once I solve them, they all kind of go away. It's a lot of physical tied into mental, as they say it is, as you'd expect. But there was a new pathetic low when I just realized I had been talking about my podcast for over 10 minutes to a therapist lady that I paid to talk to me, which, you know, how much lower can you get than that? Whenever she's like, I don't watch this, stop talking about it, you know? Like, is there a guy that comes in, he's like, oh, thank God, I just got done watching the 3rd season of Friends. You watch? And she's like, no. He's like, perfect. I can start from the beginning then, you know? Like, she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's probably like, no, I don't want to listen to you. What the fuck is a dummy? Shut the fuck up, you know? They can't say that. You pay them so they don't say that. Remember that. Because you're smart, and they can insult you. They know your deepest, darkest secrets, and they think of mean things. No, they don't. They probably don't think of mean things, probably. But they're not even good at being mean. I bet most therapists couldn't be mean if they tried. Well, now that I think about that, that's probably they probably just have, like, I mean, you see 4 guys with the same, like, they probably know deep, dark secrets that men go through that, like, people don't even realize. Like, every man has the same issue and they could just pinpoint it and just fuck up all dudes. It's kind of fire, though. That's a nice little superpower, you know? I had a buddy come into town recently. Cool guy, fun to talk to, and we had turned on the TV because you gotta have something to watch. I guess you don't really, in my opinion, you don't, and I hate it. But that's not my fault, and that's no one's fault. I'm not gonna tell somebody to turn off the TV at their own fucking house, you know. But what we did watch was actually kind of good. It ended up being Spongebob, and what a timeless show. A show that everyone watched, affected everyone differently, and, like, I don't know, man, just had so many astute observations, you know? And I started to think, who was Steven Hillenburg? I think that's the guy who created it. One of them, the guy who created it, I believe, is alive. The guy who voiced SpongeBob, I believe, died. I'm not 100% sure. But you just sort of wonder, who is the guy, you know? There's a lot of morbidity and, like, odd things in SpongeBob. You have Mr. Krabs, who's really, I mean, the perfect American, right? The most wonderful, perfect capitalist boss. In the SpongeBob movie, at one point, he's selling Krabby Patties to everyone in town. Everyone's coming through. They love it. A Krabby Patty with double Krabby Patty with cheese is $4.99. A single patty with cheese $3.99, and then a single is just $2.99, right? And so he's all of a sudden King Neptune is, like, on his way, and they go, oh, Mr. Krabs, King Neptune, he's on his way to the Krusty Krab. And he goes, oh, King Neptune's on his way to the Krusty Krab. Oh, and he starts just putting 10 in front of all of the, so it's like $104 for a double Krabby Patty with cheese, and and he's just, like, trying to charge him $100 more because he's the fucking king. And you just think to yourself, you're like, wow, what an astute businessman. There's also at the ceremony when they're opening, one of the ladies yells out, Oh, Sandy yells out, I paid $10 or I paid $9 for this. And Miss Puff yells out, I paid 10. And you just think, damn, what a man. What a con man to not only rip everyone, not just get everyone in there at different prices and milk the most amount of money out of it like a swollen udder, but also to rip off everyone, no matter what you charge them. It's magical. It is. And he represents the true American businessman, where it turns to nighttime and he's no longer there, you know? Where Spongebob and Squidward are the ones opening it up. There's a lot of other parallels in there, too. Squidward just being this... he's a piece of shit, right? Squidward doesn't want to enjoy anything. He goes home and he thinks about how he should be playing the clarinet for 1 million people out in a stadium, but nobody fucking understands him and nobody could get his genius because he's so goddamn smart, right? He deserves more than he's getting, even though all he's done is stay in his house and be a fucking cashier at the fucking Krusty Krab. He's never done anything else. He doesn't fucking give a shit, right? That's all he fucking does. He thinks he deserves better. And then every time he is in a place where he could get a little bit better, he could actually make more money, he could actually get more responsibility, the Krusty Krab, right? He's so fucking burnt out from the mental stability that he does not have that he's just fucking either reading, yawning, upset, you know? Can't do anything. It's beautiful. That's exactly who most American workers are. Squidward, baby. That's why there's so many health violations. It's not because people don't care about other people. It's because people don't care about anything. It's because they don't care if they die on the job. Okay? They're not... They don't make enough money to go home to a house that's clean. They don't give a fuck, okay? They work shitty hours. They worked a double that technically took up 11 of their hours today. All right, and they only got paid for 8 of them. Okay, they're all Squidwards. Okay, you walk into I walked into some place named Moe's. All right, if you walk into any place that is a franchise or not with just one word and it's a name as their thing, all of those people should be on suicide watch. Get them a fucking therapist. All right, it's gone. It's not good. No go. Bad. All right, can't have that. I went to Hardee's today, all right, and the woman looks like she hadn't moved from that drive-thru in weeks. She looked like she lived in the drive-thru. It looks like COVID came and went with her there, all right. That's a Squidward, if I've ever seen one. She looks like a Patrick, but she was a Squidward, all right. And last but not least, sincerely, the only. SpongeBob, give it up, you know? He's fresh, he's young, he loves his job, he's running around the whole place doing everything he can, he's serving everyone, he's singing and shit, and he's constantly working for Mr. Krabs and working his ass off. It's often talked about how like he doesn't make much more money, he never gets more appreciation. In the movie, Squidward's promoted to manager and SpongeBob can't believe it, right? It's just like, shit, you know? And so you start to see all these things and you think, I wonder what Steven Hillenburg thought. I wonder if he was some sort of visionary. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not, right? But to me, this is our 1984, right? I mean, even across the street. You look right across the street from the fucking Krusty Krab, and there's the Chum Bucket. Right across the street. Plankton's abode, where he sits. It's more like a tiki. It's a bucket that fell upside down. Now, Plankton is not a bad man. He's an inventor. He's quirky, right? He's a little bit weird, a little bit crazy, okay? And he wants attention. Sure, he says he wants money. Sure, he wants the Krabby Patty secret formula. But Christ almighty, that man needs attention. He given his time to do nothing, okay? He has plotted to steal the Krabby Patty formula and make a robot wife. You understand? He wants attention. If he could probably make some sort of robot thing, right, to make money. But instead, he has a shitty restaurant no one comes into because he wants the glory of having a restaurant. All right. Now here's the real shit of it: is that every time Plankton goes and he does some shit, he makes everything 100 million times worse. There's the alternate universe episode where Plankton's in charge and everyone hates their fucking life and it's shittier. The Spongebob movie, Plankton takes over and everyone's brain controlled and no one's happy. And as all these things keep happening, SpongeBob foils them and gives them back to Mr. Krabs, who makes the situation the exact same as it fucking was before, never improving it. Beautiful. Fucking... It's a haiku in a show. It's a warm breeze on your face. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Right? SpongeBob constantly doing all of the work to never have anything change for them so they can hand it back up to Mr. Krabs, who will crush anyone else with dreams like his. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. You know? It's a lot of fun. And it just... I wish I could ask somebody. And it would be very fun for them to be like, no, we just made up a thing called Bikini Bottom because we couldn't name it Fish Pussy or something, you know? But at the same time, maybe not. Maybe that this is their 1984. Maybe he's a visionary. It's interesting, though, how America deals with these things. The whole restaurant industry, all those things, especially the restaurant industry. A lot of people get pushed into these. We went to get food the other day, and I went to pick it up, and I just had there's some stupid fucking dumb bitch just behind the counter. Yeah, so Justin's going to be selling it for like $200, or Katie's going to be selling it for like $200, so I figured we could probably like $200, that's nothing for me. I'm like... Jesus Christ, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, are you trying to tell me you're 16 with $200? Like, what is that? You want me to replace your father at this fucking restaurant? That's what you're looking at me telling you have $200 to replace your dad who only cares about money? Get the fuck out. I don't care. What do you give me a weird eye for? Sorry. It's not that personal. It's not that personal, right? Forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah. But this is a fucking kid. Alright, this one's fucking, it's a junior or a senior, okay? These aren't fucking grown-ass adults, okay? They shouldn't be fucking trying to impress grown-ass adults. It's weird. It's kind of sickening, whatever. But they shouldn't be trying to impress grown-ass adults. And I know I look like I'm 17. And maybe that's my fault, okay? I try to not wear any clothing that looks like I'm in college or anything, because I don't want to be perceived as a child. Okay? But we push these kids into these environments where some people are desperate. Some people are fighting demons. Some people have needs that they're not really fulfilling right now, and they're going to get fulfilled somehow, and they're going to abuse the people around them until they get it. And sometimes those people are the kids that people have just pushed into the workforce because they think it's some sick, fucked up version of healthy. You know? Alright, god damn it. I'll be back, dummies. Sorry, there was a whole time change. I actually took a fat 3-hour nap, so I am completely and utterly discombobulated and mentally... one time when I was younger, I used the term confuzzled. And it's the most... If I could go back and, like I would probably just beat the shit out of the kid who said that, you know? Like, that would be the one thing. Like, who said confuzzled? And just uppercut his little 13-year-old ass. But yeah, left me feeling discombobulated. Oh yes, and that's what we were talking about. We were talking about thrusting American children into these Krusty Krab ass jobs. Correct. The implications of these things and the reasons why you should force your child into labor in order to teach them responsibility and make them make money. Right? all it really opened to me was just a way for me to buy drugs and for me to meet creeps. Like, immediately at my first job, there's just registered sex offenders just walking around. Like, it's a playhouse. It's Pee-wee's Playhouse in there. It's fucking... We had one guy. He was fun. He had a, like, wet ponytail kind of look all the time with a beard. And he'd do like, hey, man. And he'd always describe a man that was like... He'd describe him as like a wigger that would be like a lot more... Not sure how comfortable I am with using that word, but we'll continue. It feels like... I think I told the story about the girl. I think I belong to that minority group. I'm not sure. Is that a real... Can we get some protections? Can we... Can we get some protections for my white brothers and sisters just sagging their pants past their knees? Please? The Wiggers have been an unprotected group in America for too long now. White people looking side to side, like, can we say that? I mean, it even insults the person they're talking about, you know? Truly, it's... maybe it's time to end the W word. Right? Maybe it's time to let white people listen to hip-hop. Maybe it's time to let white people smoke Newports and wear J's. Alright? Don't end the W word. Let white people wear Timbs. You know? End the stigma. Let white people play basketball. This has been brought to you by Wiggers Rights. I'm just one remix away from just people just gunning me down in the street. That's okay. It's okay. So this guy would describe some guy named Lil Mikey, and he'd talk like this and be like, "What up, man?" And he'd always tell us about Little Mikey as like the Jesus of Wiggerdom, where it would be like if they were to aspire to a celestial being, its son would have been this man. He's got a lowrider. He lives in a basement with a boombox with multiple girlfriends at his mother's house. It was beautiful. It's a traditional conservative Wigger lifestyle, truly. So he would explain these things to us, and he'd be like, "Hey, man." He wouldn't talk like that, I guess. He would talk like that when he was imitating another guy. But he'd be like, "Man, bro, so whenever I was serving my 90 days, we just told my in-laws, we were like, I'm a migrant worker." I'm like, migrant worker? Where the fuck you going? Like, yeah, dude, they made me serve 90 days for my third DUI. Hey, stop drinking. Hey, what are you doing? Your third DUI? He had a felony's worth of DUIs. If you get enough DUIs, you get to cash in your houses for a hotel. They go, "Oh, look, you have 3 misdemeanors. You actually get to cash this in for 1 whole felony. You've gotten the 3rd punch on your card, sir. Sir, look into this light. Are you wasted? Well, congratulations. Woo! 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 You've gotten your 3rd DUI. It is time to go to a federal prison for 90 days. So he told the in-laws that he was a migrant worker. I'm sure that's what they told the children too. I'm sure that'll be fine. That won't hurt them. They'll be fine. They're fine. They're kids. What? They need to know their dad went to jail? That's his business, not yours. And so he had gone to jail for 90 days. And he would oftentimes explain these things like, it's kind of bullshit, man, because with the whole 3 DUIs, then you got a felony, like, what the fuck? 3? No. Is 3 ever a small number? Like, I mean, I couldn't imagine getting 3 of anything. I think it's a small number. Even $3, you're starting to be like, that's a good amount of dollars. Shit, you get $3 3 times, you got almost $10. That's getting, you know. That wasn't a good point, I know. But regardless, he would explain these things. And then while he was explaining this, he would usually be explaining this to tell you why you shouldn't tell people about the guns he's showing you on his phone because he's not allowed to own them. And he's like, and it's not even violent either. So like, I don't know why they're even saying I can't, which I'm not sure. I don't think that's true either. I think if they're charging with a felony, I think it's like has a deadly weapon because you're just drinking and driving around repeatedly. If they've only caught you 3 times. Lord knows how often you've done this. And so he'd be like, this is my AK, this is my Stalingrad. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, whatever. I'm fucking, hey, guess what? I'm a dummy, okay? And so you can't kick me out. You can't fucking kick me out. And so, you know, he was a fun guy. He would oftentimes tell us, he'd be like, oh, dude, we used to go to that campground and trip acid all day, dude. And I used to kind of, you kind of look up to these people when you're a young drug addict, right? When you're a young psychonaut, right? When you're somebody who's just like, I love to get fucked up all day. You look up to these people who go, oh yeah, I used to just take acid around a campfire and do nothing for weekends, all the time, multiple weekends in a row. I didn't do anything besides work and go out there and fry my fucking brain. And I think he had a little bit too much dark. I think he got a little too afraid of the dark. Because he was incredibly racist. You understand? It was bad. It was bad. He couldn't do, like, he just couldn't even be around. He would tell me about going to the same high school as me. And he would say, hey, buddy, if you're watching this, sorry, man. But he would tell me, come for me if you want, but, like, you don't want to say you know me. Look, this is looking bad for you, right? I'll just start making up more stories, all right? I'll make up more stories. You think I fucking give a shit? You gonna come at me, bud? You gonna fucking come at me? Huh? You gonna come at me with your greased up ponytail? Huh? Who the fuck was you, bud? Huh? Yeah, fucking watch yourself, huh? And so, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, he's incredibly racist. So he would explain to me, he'd be like, yeah, dude, so when I went to your high school, I would find some nice young gentlemen of color. I would throw up a Viceroy star, wait for them to throw it back. Then I would break it over my knee and flip them off and call them gay. And I was like, uh-huh. and then what? What? Could you even imagine as a joke? You see 3 men that are presumed gang members, and you go, watch this, I'm gonna call them gay. Excuse me? Did you just threaten those 3 gang members? I'm sorry, sir, what was this at? Yeah, that's what we're repping, so you better watch your ass. Don't you dare say that about me and my affiliates ever again, okay? Because we got each other's back. Yeah, fuck all that. Fucking talking shit to gang members? You go, could you imagine being that guy's homie? You go, hey bro, and what'd you get for number 3? He goes, 1 second, bro. Hey bro, fuck. Fuck please. I'm not gonna say it because that's just gonna be a bad clip, right? But he's just screaming out like fuck whatever like local gang there is. And you're like, hey bro. He's like, no, number 3 I didn't get. That bitch tripping, man. I don't know what she's talking about. Trying to tell me all this shit. And they're like, did you just threaten the local group of gangsters? Why would you do that? They know we're friends. They're gonna beat the shit. I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of you right now, just so they don't beat the shit out. Just so they know we're enemies, and I beat so they don't beat the shit out of me later. Fuck, dude. Crazy guy. But a lot of fun stories. It's also a lot of fun that you can just be on acid that long and still end up a piece of shit. You know. That was one of my things, like I kind of talked about, like people who used to do acid would be like my Jesuses, where I'm like, this is what I aspire to be, somebody who does acid all the time and gets high and like thinks in a higher state of mind than normal and lives a different life than other people. And then you just see the people who do that and you're like, that's probably not a good fucking idea. That's probably bad for you. Probably shouldn't do that. There's also some other fun people there. Everyone there sold pot. So everyone that's underpaid at a job will sell weed, and eventually you just get everyone there that's underpaid, and they're all trying to sell weed to the new kid. And that's exactly what was happening. We had one lady there who had alright weed. Wasn't bad. We had another guy who'd be like, "Hey man, can you cover my Thursday, my thirsty Thursdays? I got a family reunion." And I'd be like, "Oh, where's your family reunion?" He'd be like, "Chicago." Cool, for sure. You got family in Chicago. That's crazy. He'd go to Chicago, grab 2 zips, and then leave. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like a fucking family reunion. You had me fucking grab Thirsty Thursday for you to go grab 2 zips, and it's yellow. The weed is yellow. It looks like fucking Life cereal. It looks like fucking Wheaties. It's not good. It's terrible. And then he shows it to you. He goes, "Do you want some weed?" After you get back, and you're like, "We got fucked on Thirsty Thursday." Okay? He's like, "You want some pot?" No, that looks like a grain more than it does anything else. Good God. However, this lady had alright weed. She just didn't look like she chose the right men. She drank often and heavily. Her body looked like she drank often heavily, and she had a name that was just Shauna was her name. And there was one kid I had gone to school with, and he had gotten expelled, and she had caught me talking about him around the corner. And I knew she was adjacent to people who it's just like, you shouldn't. What the fuck are they doing? Where it's just generational trauma on its like 5th or 6th stage. Like, it's just reruns at this point of the same shit happening over and over. And so this lady's like, "Oh, you know about that kid?" I'm like, "Yeah, are you sleeping with him or something, I imagine? I don't know. How do you know him?" It's like, "Well, that's my friend's son, and he actually didn't do anything wrong." Okay, for sure. You're talking about the guy that with the gasoline? On the 3rd floor? That gave his friend the lighter? And then got caught with the lighter and the gasoline? Ooh. What part didn't he do? What he didn't light it on. They're not charging him with lighting a fire. They're charging him with setting up a fire. Yeah. You know? What? It's not arson. It's gay arsony. You know? It's the worst form of arsony, but whatever, dude. And then she's like, "No. His friend set him up. He had the lighter. I don't even remember what the fucking excuse is. How? What part did he set up? The gasoline on the 3rd floor? He probably was like, does fire burn up or down? It's one of them, dude. Fuck, we'll just do the 3rd floor. Say, fuck it, dude. But yeah, gasoline was just on the 3rd floor bathroom. And it was also like a tile bathroom, so I almost wonder if maybe it wouldn't have even caught anything on fire if it would have just been done, honestly. But so that guy had to go to some sort of disciplinary school, and that was good for him. He was a fun kid. He was the kind of kid that, like, I wasn't trying to be mean, but it was the first time I had said something mean and I didn't care. My buddies were all kind of assholes. They were all dickheads. They had said some things. They didn't give a shit what people thought, really, you know? And I was never like that, except for this one moment. This kid had pushed me. He pissed me off. He didn't give a fuck. And we were in marching band, and he didn't care. I wanted him to care so bad. And I remember we had one falling out later eventually where I go, "What is your problem? What the fuck could I do to make you give a shit?" And he goes, "I want to go home." I go, "I know, because you fucking suck." You know? Regardless. I look at him, and this is before all that, so I didn't even have this chance. I didn't even have this reason to be this mean. I was just an asshole. I look at him and I go, "What is the hardest thing that you've done to your brain?" Right? Not drug, not just what's the most what's the closest you've gotten to just lobotomizing your shit, you know? And he explains to me mixing together cleaning ingredients underneath the sink, and proceeding to breathe those in. And you just look at him, and he's got the look of like an Italian Mr. Crocker, Mr. Ratburn type thing. Just an ill teacher from a children's show. And it's just, you know, never had a chance. No one's fault. No one's fault. Just never had a chance. If you're looking underneath the sink and you go, I should sniff this harder, never had a chance. Not your fault. You know? There's also a lot of other things I was thinking about too. There's a lot of fun things that people just repeat on Facebook as almost mantras of stupidity, where they're saying nothing, where they're just saying dumb shit. One of these is, oh, so everyone last week that was a virologist is now a geopolitical expert. Let me explain something. If your expectation is that you are too stupid to understand what the experts need to tell you, you don't get an opinion. You understand? If you go, oh, virology is so complex, I would never have an opinion on that. No. They should be explaining this to you. Okay? There should be a thing explaining these things. Right? If there's distrust, that's the issue. Right? People just prance over this whole fucking thing. The issue is the intellectual dishonesty in all of our news and media and everywhere else. Oh, so you're a virologist last week and you're a geopolitical expert this week? No, you can't just go, I don't want to listen to you because your opinion's too dumb. Too bad, bitch. We're all dummies. We're all dummies. So prove it wrong. That's the thing, though. Now we're getting to the point where you get to go, I don't even want to argue. This is bad. No. It's not even that you're a Nazi. It's just people literally being like, well, I think you're too dumb to care what your opinion is. So, whatever. I get it, though, too. There are some people where it's like, all right, if you're this loud, you know, not good. But maybe that's me. I'm also quite loud. Yeah, I'm sitting here fucking yelling on YouTube once a fucking week. At best. God damn it. And I have a whole roadmap for this, but if one of the guys becomes president, I'm fucked. We'll be fine. I'll make this work. I can pull the political strings, you understand? I can make people stand by their words. Okay? Everyone was a virologist. Now they're a geopolitical expert. I should be able to understand why there should or should not be a conflict. Do people just start talking about World War II and you go, World War II? That's too complex, sir. Do you know how many people were fighting? There's like 8 sides. Do you know all 8 sides and who was right? Good word. Get away. Disgusting. Too complex. We're all too stupid to know. Let me listen to one guy. He'll tell me my opinion. Fuck you. And I say all these things too, but I'm also, and this is the dummy in me, I'm also the same guy who got way too high on edibles, walked over to my friend's house, and while outside I heard a salute with guns in the background, and then a bunch of trumpets just playing the same tune at different times. And I thought I was witnessing the death of a patriot. I was like, oh shit. I was about to start like saluting the sky, bruh. I was about to be like, I'm so sorry, you know? So, sometimes I'm undercover dummy, but it just shines through. You know, there's nothing you can do. There's no New Balance sneakers you can buy to not be a dummy. You know? I got a new doctor this week. That's very nice. It's good. It was necessary. I didn't have a lot of faith in my doctor. I felt like they would just let me die. And I felt like I was dying a lot, which isn't good. But they didn't help me, which is their fault. So, trying to live my life, trying to be better, trying to be healthier, trying to make it work, make it happen, you know? And I need somebody I trust at my side to tell me they're political or no. Wait, hold up. I don't know. The doctor, I just want their health opinion. Once he starts talking politics, I'm like, hold up, doc. Don't need that anymore. Just tell me about the cholesterol. But my last doctor just was a fucking asshole. He just didn't give a shit about anything. I was just like, yeah, come on. What do you do? He also had like a big old franchise though, and I think it was one of those things. Like, he's basically working for the McDonald's of hospitals. This other guy has his own practice, his nice mom and pop shop. Like, it's a very nice place. Has a lot of nice upkeep. It looks very good in there. So I was very happy to do that. It got my head right. It made it a lot easier to live this week without being scared, to have a happy and healthy life. So I encourage you to definitely take steps toward your own health, whatever you can this week, whatever it may be. Got to keep us healthy dummies. All right, there's not a lot of us out there right now. A lot of undercover dummies who are just trying to show other people that they're dummies that don't know it yet. But got to keep going. Marijuana. I think I said it enough times for YouTube to flag me and kill me, whatever. Basically, there's a lot of talk about legalization and decriminalization this week. It'd be wonderful to see that. It'd be wonderful if marijuana is allowed in places. If marijuana is not a huge deal anymore. If it can't get you arrested, that'd be great. I don't think there's any reason for marijuana to be an issue like that. However, I see some large issues coming up. So, for example, Pabst Blue Ribbon just founded Pabst Labs for a marijuana company. They're a fucking pot company. They're going to make 5 milligram tonic seltzers. What is 5 milligrams going to do? Give me 75s. Give me 75 fucking milligrams of THC. Like, I get it. It's a lot. I get it. Most people don't want to face fuck themselves with THC. I get it. But what the fuck are you doing with? And that's what they want to do anyways, right? They just want to get people fucked up. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to give it to the white moms. So, and it's fun too, because for years they were just like, here's beat your kid juice, and now here's calm down so you don't beat your kid juice. It's great. They're really getting with the times. Back when you could beat your kids and no one could arrest you, now when you beat your kids, and they just put it on TikTok while they do a dance with bruises on their face, and now you're going to jail, or whatever else. I don't know what the new fucking TikTok beat is. They're just people making 2-minute songs just for TikToks, and it's so good. They're so fucking good, What the fuck am I supposed to do? It's like it's just so fucking fire. It's just so fucking fire, and it's no one's fault. It's just 16-year-olds making the most fire minute-and-a-half songs, and now TikTok has deemed them a top rising artist in the country or some shit. I don't know. I might get a TikTok. I was thinking about doing like TikTok highlight videos. Put in some highlight videos real quick. Just make it aggressive. Do all the ones where I'm yelling at the camera, making you guys feel like shit, huh? Telling you guys what the fuck to do, who to vote for, and I'll put those on TikTok. I also wonder though, so as decriminalization happens and all these things, and medical marijuana is allowed, I wonder if they are going to crunch down. They are going to clamp down on medical marijuana patients. I think they could very easily use medical marijuana, because basically medical marijuana a lot of times basically says, in a state that already has legal marijuana, medical marijuana is just allowing you to buy tax-free weed most times, or pay the 2% pharmaceutical tax in a lot of states. That said, you're also not allowed to have a gun. There's different laws with what you can do with a gun, where you can't have a gun if you have marijuana on you, where it must be in relation to it, and all those things. I just could very easily see it as a tool and as a means of de-arming the population. And the only reason I say that is because that's something both sides want. Democrats and Republicans alike would love for you to not have fucking guns. I know that seems where they're like, that's not true, that's not my government. The Republicans don't, they all want that. They don't fucking want you having guns. I promise most Republicans are afraid of half the people that support them. Good God. Look at those rallies. Those rallies, You pick out 8 people, they have a full set of teeth between the 8 people, bro. It's fucking... They don't even want to touch you. They wouldn't even kiss your babies. They would spit on your forehead and rub it in like it's Ash Wednesday or some shit. They wouldn't want to fucking... Hell no. Absolutely not. They don't love you. AOC is a fraud, and she will watch you burn and die as she is skyrocketed to Mars because she believes she is worth saving, and unfortunately the world can't be saved with her. Dun, dun, dun. And she's just up there fucking saluting away, just looking at the gas prices skyrocket to $100 as all the gas stations blow up and kill everyone. And she just is like, well, United States of Mars is just gonna be better, you know? But it's okay because she was worth saving. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore, but don't let fucking alcohol companies become marijuana companies. That's fucked up. They shouldn't do that. I can't fully iterate exactly why right now, but fuck them. Remember that, dummies. Fuck them. Yeah. Thanks for being here, dummies. It was a good week. I hope you guys had a good time. I enjoyed myself quite a lot on this episode. I enjoyed just shooting the shit. Hopefully none of this comes back to bite me. Hopefully there's no reason. I can't think of anything I said that was like terrible. It's always weird, like after the podcast, like I hope I said something that's not like terrible or like haunts me in the future, but it's not like that's happened or will. We're only on 26, right? There's probably got to be like 100 or something of these. We'll be fine. See you, dummies.